Oh, shit. I had it on mute. And I was just telling the whole story, too. Jesus. So, mentally, I'm okay. Physically, I'm cold. And I have a small ish story to tell, but not really a story, more of some happenstance. I woke up to the sound of chainsaws today, like multiple chainsaws, a little bit too close for comfort. The road crew that's working on the highway not too far from camp were in the woods clearing trees, dead trees that are near the power lines. Scared the crap out of me. Too close for comfort kind of deal. I didn't like it at all. And, yeah. Good thing did come of it because they cleared dead trees that were dry. I was, moving trees today that they cut down and split up for me to camp. So I've got a couple, like 2 trees worth of logs now extra. But besides that, I'm just it's negative 25 right out now today, so it's kind of chilly. I was playing some games with friends and whatnot. A game we like to play called Rusted Warfare. Really good online real time strategy game. We're getting good at it. We're really kicking the ass. They cut them down and cut them in pieces like they're coming to collect them today or tomorrow. I grabbed as much as I could, like I was as much as I was physically able to grab. I grabbed my big green bag, filled it full of logs. That's about that can hold 80 liters, but I'd say at least 100 or 100 200 pounds worth of wood in that one bag at least. And in my arms, dragged it all back to camp. I had 2 trees worth, so it's my wood now. No, I wasn't freaking out too badly. Not today, at least. Yesterday, yes. Not yes. The day before, yeah. That just scared the crap out of me. Tomorrow, I'm planning on heading into town. I've budgeted myself. I've got about 200 bucks to last, so I'm gonna make some homemade mac and cheese tomorrow. I'm not gonna stream it. I'm going to make a cooking video, a long form cooking video. Gonna do a proper mac and cheese with I don't know what kind of meat, but some kind of meat. Hey, Mister UFO. So yeah, I wish it wasn't so cold out, so we could like do outdoor streams. I wish I could get back into that, but not in this weather. It's just too dangerous. And it snowed so much yesterday. I pretty much got snowed in the area today, which is a good thing. Covered all my tracks, my old tracks. But I'm trying to figure out how I want to make mac and cheese. I know it's going to be in a single pot, a single wok, but I just don't know what. I'm going to get some cheap cheeses to make it. That's all you really need. But I'm just trying to figure out what kind of mac and cheese to make exactly like. It just can't be the mac and the cheese. Well, it can be, but that's boring. I want to get some pizza mozzarella. Definitely need that. And maybe some cheese whiz. And I want to put meat in it. I'm thinking I don't want to use chicken heart mac and cheese. That sounds horrible. I like chicken hearts, but that just sounds disgusting. Maybe some hamburger or ground pork or chicken. And I haven't made mac and cheese in a long time. I need some ideas. I need some inspiration. I want to make something that's really good and different. I would be interested in a van if I could drive, man. I cannot hold a driver's license, so I cannot own a van. That's the problem. I wish my life would be a lot different if I could still drive. I would still be able to operate heavy machinery if I could still drive, and I wouldn't be homeless. I'd still be making 6 figures. Ooh. I hear coyotes. Yeah, I'm pretty far north. Yeah, no, I need like an idea to make some proper mac and cheese. Like not just the mac and cheese, but something a little bit special. I might have to buy some. I think I'll cook the noodles. I'll cook ground beef, but with I still have some Thai red chilies, super spicy. I'm up in a shop in my little hobo shack, in my little hobo tent, covered over with tarps and leaves and stuff, up near Sudbury, freezing my ass off because it's cold. And I need to shave my head soon. Shit. Truffle mac and cheese. Yeah, I bet it is. I'm broke as fuck, man. I can't. Hobo truffle mac and cheese for the hobo with the trust fund. Dude, I don't care. That's funny, man. I'm thinking ground beef and onions. Onions are special enough for me. You're further north than me. I'm in Sudbury. I'm in a good mood today, though. I really am. It's been I got a lot of sun, I guess. Um, it's not feasible to plant anything up here. If what happens happens, and I can get onto the green project land, I'm gonna do a whole vegetable garden, and yeah, it'll be good. Actually, you know what, Jeremiah? That's actually not a bad idea. When I go to the grocery store, it's not truffles, but I'll buy some oyster mushrooms and dice them, like mince them up, fry them with the beef and onion, and use that and do a mushroom ground beef mac and cheese. That sounds really decent. I'm in my cocoon, so I'm pretty warm. I'm pretty warm. Oh, the spirits are a lot different today. Like I don't, I didn't panic today when the road crew was near. Last one, it gave me an absolute panic attack. My mind was fucking spiraling. I know where they're working. They're just working around the power lines. I scoped the area out after it happened, and they're just cleaning up the area around the power line. So I didn't. I know they're not coming near me. Yeah, but that's basically it. I didn't have to panic because I know what they were doing. Oh, oh, and the other day when I went to the library, when I went yesterday to the library, charged all my stuff. This other guy sat down right near beside me and asked if he could borrow a USB C and one of the chargers. He was in luck. All my one of my batteries were completely charged, so I had an extra charging port. Let him use it. Started packing up to leave. I let him use it for about a half an hour because my stuff was all done. Started packing up to leave, and I say, "Hey, bud, here's your phone. I've got to go." And he's like, "Hey, man, can you just leave the charger for me?" I was like, "Sorry, what?" But can you just leave the charger for me? You've got a spare. That's true. I've got four of the wall outlet thingies and a power bar that I plug them all into, and two of my battery banks plugged directly into the wall. I said, "Sorry, no, man, I can't." And he's like, "Well, that's really selfish of you. You got so many. I just need to charge my phone." It's like, I understand. I've got a lot of them. It took me a lot of time to get all these charging cables and these duck heads, and I need them. Unfortunately, I need everyone I have to charge all my stuff at the same time. But he would call me selfish because I wouldn't give him the USB-C cable and the duck head to charge. And that's even then, the cheapest duck head you're going to find is from the dollar store, and they're crap. They explode. But I just can't give a guy like $30 worth of electronics that I need to have. I have to have. I don't touch that stuff, Mike. I'm sorry, I don't. No, I don't think he was out of prison. I've seen him in there a few times. Um, I've learned if you look around, you see a lot of older people or younger people like my 30s in the library just sitting there reading a book or sometimes sleeping. You would be surprised how many people in the library are actually homeless. In the in the cold weather, the library is used as a refuge for a safe place to sleep. I know a person at the library I'm currently going to. He's got a job. He goes and works nights. Gets at the library at 9 a.m. the second they open, gets his spot, puts his feet up, and sleeps for 8 hours at the library, then goes about his day, goes to work. Does it every single day because he can't afford a place to live. There are multiple people that are there that look like they're studying, but they're just homeless. Oh, I know. Tomorrow's gonna be very warm. It's just a cold night. I appreciate that, Lou S. What's up, Gabriel Lee? I'm always up to chat. That I really need a haircut. Uh, I'm gonna tell you, it's not about a strong person. It's I don't think anybody is or isn't strong. I think you'll be surprised if you're put in a horrible situation on what you can actually do and how quickly you learn. I'm gonna say honestly, go back to 2019. If you said in 2019 that 2023 you'd be sleeping outdoors during the winter, same with 2024, right up into 2025, I would say, yeah, I don't believe you. I'll be outside for a week and I'll die. But you'd be so surprised how quickly you can adapt and learn. Oh, I'll just shave it all off when the weather gets a little bit nicer. Uh, I do have an ultimate goal in mind. Actually, some of the mods finally convinced me. They convinced me to accept them and let them make a GoFundMe. I'm gonna do. They're working on that right now, and that gives me a very real opportunity to have a forever home, internet, and a stable job where I would do remote work. I'm looking at this place called the Green Project. $5,000 for a lease. You lease land for life for $5,000. Then you just pay the property taxes of $150 a year. It's yours forever. Throw a trailer up. A half an acre of land is more than enough to grow your gardens and live. And you get Starlink so you can work remotely. That is the goal. If I can do that, my life different right away. Even if they still jerk me around for another year or two with the disability, I'll have a place forever and be safe. I don't have dreads, man. My hair is clean. I get a shower a couple times a week, 3 or 4 times a week. I've never actually been able to fly a sign, even when I was absolutely desperate. When I had like $2 to my name for a month, I walked around the parks where I knew kids would go drinking and collect empties. Hell, there are so many times. Like one day, I got like $40 worth of empties. I made a video about it on what I collected in a 2 hour time period on a really good day after a long weekend. And I'll find it and pin it. But I just dumped a bag out and it was a pile like high as my knee worth of empty beer cans. I've got multiple sclerosis, Ray. I also have a seizure disorder. I'm not allowed to drive a car, operate heavy machinery. I used to operate a crane. I used to that was what I was. But you can't do that stuff when they will not let you have a driver's license. And I'm fighting for Ontario disability pension. It's really simple. That's it. Oh, David. Last week there was 5 days when it was negative 35 overnight. I went for those 5 days. I got a total of like 6 hours of sleep. I did not sleep at night at all because it was too cold. I did not want to die. I even went so far as use stimulants to keep myself up. I uh, I had instant coffee. You know that really nasty Nescafe crap. A little bit of water in it and mushed it into like a solid ball. Rolled that up, put some cheesecloth around it, and stuck it in my bottom lip right here, like baseball players would do with chewing tobacco. But this isn't tobacco. This is This is caffeine. Stuck it right here, and every so often gave it a suck just so I'd have that caffeine so I could stay awake. I don't have enough hair for dreads. Well, we call it Ontario Works here for welfare SSI. I have a job, that's why I make a little bit too much money for that. And you know what really sucks? Being homeless and collecting welfare. For a homeless person, that's $300 a month. Yeah, they take care of my medications, no problem. That's where the majority of my paycheck goes to is my medications. $700 a month. It sucks. Uh, but at least with working, you have a little bit of purpose. You have something to do, somewhere to go. You feel good about yourself. Oh, dude, thank you. I appreciate the super. Holy crap, thank you. I'm not here asking ever for anything, but I'm glad you got yourself clean, man. I met a lot of people who have problems like that out here. I'm fortunate I don't, but yeah. But as I was trying to say, what was I doing? What was I saying? Whoosh! You just cleared my brain out. Very rarely. Um, I do buy the occasional beer, but I'm a lightweight. Give me 3 beers and I'm destroyed. I have a very low alcohol tolerance, but once in a while, yeah, I do. I won't deny that. I'll get a couple decent quality beers, like an expensive German beer. Sit down and have a meal with, have it with dinner, just to feel like I'm human. Thank you. Oh my! Thank you again. Holy crap! No, no. Like again, having work. I wanted to finish that thought. I'm fortunate. I've got just a part-time job. It's all I was able to find. But just having that gives you a little bit of pride in yourself, keeps you motivated for what's next. And heck, my job pays for my medication. Like that's how I pay for my meds is through work. And heck, I make about 300 bucks, $400 if I'm lucky off of YouTube, and that keeps me going for the rest of the month. I remember the Christmas Eve stream, dude. That was off of like regular beer. Like I drank like for in December was I drank a lot in December. I drank on 3 separate nights in December. One was the 14th. But that's the 14th of December. No matter what, I will always sit down and have a few beers, more than a few beers, and a shot of whiskey or two. And I hate I don't like whiskey. I can't even think about that shit. But the 14th is a special day for me. That's the day my grandfather died, and I celebrate his death by, we'd always sit out and have a fucking drink and stuff. The night he died, he was December 14th. I was 2006. 2006. That day, I got home from the hospital. He was an old man. He was like 96 when he went, and the man raised me. I got home from the hospital after he died, sitting there all by myself, not knowing what to do. And he had always had a bottle of whiskey in the upper cupboard at the place, and I took it. And that night, I'm 18, and I got hammered. And it's been a tradition on the 14th of every December. I sit down and have a couple drinks for the old bastard. And Christmas, that was a couple of us lonely SOBs sitting up having a few drinks. That's a angry hippie. That is exactly what my grandfather said. He said the reason why he lived so long is because he fucking smoked every day and drank whiskey every night. That's what he used to say. His entire body is pickled so he could live forever. I had a lot of fun actually. Like, fuck that was like, you guys. I took down 6 beers that night, and I was absolutely destroyed. That was a lot for me. That was a real lot, but I enjoyed it. I remember sitting up, rocking back and forth, being an idiot. Thank you. No, but there's something I will always do, no matter where I am, no matter what it is. As December 14th, I'm having a few drinks that night. I don't care. It's for my grandfather. Yep. See, I can't believe that though. See, my grandfather, like World War II veteran, had 6 kids. Not a single one of them spoke to him for like 20, 30 years of the last 20, 30 years of his life, because apparently he was a real bastard to them growing up. What she used to say is he said he wasn't a good father at all. And I guess that's why he took me in, because he wanted a second chance, make up for the crap he did. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I know, like when I lost my father is gone too. He went in fucking Christ, I forget what year. But they kicked me out when I was like 13, so I'm 12 ish, 11 ish, 11, 12 ish. Fuck. But doesn't matter. I have no connection to my parents. Oh, yeah, I'm great. I'm actually having a really good time tonight. Yes, rest in peace. Lou, that's terrible. I found. See, I did everything fucking right in my life. I was 18. I went through an apprenticeship. I was a crane operator. I've said that a lot. Did everything right. That's the one thing I can do. Started having seizures in 2020, very early 2020. And they took my driver's license away, took my machine operating licenses away, took my DZ away, another driver's license, so I cannot operate the cranes without those licenses. And they will not allow you to have those licenses so long as you have had a seizure within the last 12 months. They never stopped. So there I am, seizures, nonstop, daily for months and months and months. In fact, it was years until we really got it settled down. No way to do the one thing I know how to do, health declining, and then, finally everything runs out. You're out on the streets. And no one will hire you because, one, your qualifications are construction, and they read no fixed address on your ID, and Walmart won't hire you. You tried to do the right thing in your life, and because of that, you got no qualifications for anything else. It sucks. My seizures are not vaccine related. I got sick right before COVID really became known. When I say early 2020, it was like January 2020. It was awesome. It's through an apprenticeship. It's great money. It's six figures. It's well into the six figures. And I was a tower crane operator too. Thank you, Brett. I really loved that. I really loved being so high above the city. Wow, I hear banging in the distance. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that, Brett. I don't touch shit like that. I am up near Sudbury. Honestly, Lewis, I exist out of rage and spite. This is gonna sound sick, but I've promised myself there's one person on this planet I have promised myself I'm going to outlive. Uh, I have to outlive my ex-wife out of spite. Oh no, no, straight. No, man. That's a joke. I'm just a naturally positive person. Always have been. Always will be. That's somewhat of a joke, but it's also somewhat serious. That I'm gonna outlive her just out of spite because fuck her. It's about negative 25 degrees Celsius. Oh, I promise you, I'm gonna outlive her. Despite everything, despite MS, despite the seizures, I'm gonna live until at least 97, maybe 98, without a damn problem. I don't give a shit. I've promised myself that. I use like a dozen different. I've got a bunch of different sleeping bags. There are four underneath me right now, giving me some nice padding. One really good thermal bag on me on top. On top of that, there is a heated sleeping bag, a couple quilts, and other blankets. I've got a total of 14 different blankets in here. Blankets, then. Yep. I don't have a heater. I've got the blankets, and one of the blankets is a battery powered blanket. So I plug it in and nice and warm. I know the newspaper trick, but honestly, I'm nice and warm. I've made it through a lot colder than this. Well, that's one thing I get, Brett. That's one thing I get shit for. A lot of people like to give me shit on the comments saying, "Oh, it can't be negative 20 or it can't be negative 30 because you're just wearing a hoodie." I take shit for that a lot. Um, but there's a difference. Is you only see the red hoodie I've got on there. Apparently, the mods say that's my brand is the red hoodie. Uh, the red hoodie is my outermost layer. I have long johns. They're full body long johns. I even have the built-in socks, so that's the skin tight. Over that, I've got a pair of sweatpants, and over the sweatpants, I got a pair of jeans. On my torso, well, again, the long johns are right up to my neck. Over those, I've got a t-shirt, a long sleeve t-shirt, a wool sweater, and then I've got the hoodie over that. And that's good right down to negative 35, negative 40. Fuck, it's more than warm enough for outside. Brent, I built myself a latrine. It's not exactly outdoors. I not really. It's been impossible to save up. Uh, again, I'm spending about $700 a month on my medication. I only work part time. Last month I should have been able to put like $700 away, but I had to buy my medication twice. The first time I bought them once, but in a weird position because my medication started to fail. So I had to see my doctor, and he reevaluated all my meds, did new prescription, new dosages, new medication. So I had to buy them a second time a week later. So that drained my account last month. I've been able to save jack shit. I've got $200 in my bank account right now, which is terrifying. But it's fine. I will figure something out. Always do. Oh no, nope. I dug about a 3 foot hole, surround it with rocks, put a 5 gallon bucket on top, cut a hole out of the 5 gallon bucket. I found a toilet seat that I fused to the top of that bucket. Then I put a stick shack around it with some sticks on top, so I at least feel enclosed while I go poop. That's my latrine. It's about 50 ish meters away due west. That's the worst thing, Mike. Is I could stop. I could stop working, stop the YouTube, and then I could get government assistance. I'd get $300 a month, and they pay for my meds. It's better for me to have the job and pay out of pocket because I have a little bit more than what I would have if they were paying for my meds and give me $300. And I have the pride in myself that I get to go to work. Oh, yeah. It is kind of cold, but I've learned not to sit down. I learned to hover. It's too cold. I listen to music now and again. I end up reading more books. I try not to use too much of my data besides for streaming. Healthcare is completely free up in Canada protocol. That's your doctor's visits. Medications you got to pay for. Certain medications are super cheap, or if you're lucky and have an employer with that have a medical plan, the medical plan will pay for your meds. I don't have that anymore. Or you get with the Trillium Medical Plan, which I cannot get. Doctor's visits are free, your hospital visits are free, but your meds aren't. And your meds that are super cheap are called life necessary medications, like your insulins or your blood thinners. Mine are quality of life medications. So one of them is antidepressant, one of them is anti-anxiety. That helps control my seizures. And my other ones make it so there's less pain in my body on my left side from the neurological problem from the MS. One of them stops the spasms, and the other stuff helps just keep me everything in control. But they're not life necessary medications; they're life quality medications. So they're fucking expensive. That again, that's another thing, Mike. There's a good chance Trillium wouldn't cover a majority of the medications I require. Gabriel, I have never once contemplated suicide. Actually, that's not true. That's not true. My medications made me think about it. They was a side effect from my medication. The antidepressants and anti-anxiety medications are actually to control the seizures. My seizures are non-epileptic. Uh, they're not from the multiple sclerosis, but they're more like a byproduct of it because there's something wrong with my brain. Ooh, that hurt my own feelings. There's something wrong with my brain. That really hurts to say out loud. Uh, no, no, no. But I have an anxiety disorder as it is. But my seizures are stress related, and those two medications help control my stress, so I'm functional. So I'm not like 24 hours a day. You too, Jay. Uh, it's been a while since anybody called me queso. I kind of lost track at like 217, 218, but it's been weeks since anybody called me queso. I'm in Canada though. That's the thing. Boise, Idaho. I get called queso a lot because I look like him. All us big guys look alike. Yeah, no. Also, that thing was my impression of seizure. That's how I don't know exactly know what mine looked like. I was told my seizures are quiet seizures. I've had one seizure on a live stream once. I'll grab the video and splice it and make a short out of it, but my whole face started wigging out. Like, uh, my eyes started to go all wonky. It was a micro seizure, a small one, but yeah, angry hippie. I like the rain though. I really like the rain. It's 10 p.m. Oh shit! Oh shit! That's my face. That's a close up of my face. Just trying to switch hands. Ooh, my hand is cold. Okay, there we go. That's cold. I think I prefer the cold over the hot. Well, I didn't know Stellar. I didn't know it was MS. Um, I had no idea what it was until I got a It took 4 years to figure out what was going on. Uh, I was talking to a person who has a friend who has MS, and a lot of the symptoms align, like near pain that goes down your left, then goes down your body. Like my legs weren't functioning properly. I wasn't really able to lift my left leg that well. Uh, my motor control is shot to shit. But I didn't know I had multiple sclerosis until August of this year, of last year, of 2024. I finally got a spinal tap, and that told me I had MS. Uh, there's a lot of symptoms. Like there's no two people are identical with MS. MS is different for everybody. but the muscle spasms are the most apparent uh, symptom I have, and the shakiness of my hands. I'm going to be honest. Thank you very much, Jay. You rock. The spinal taps, a spinal tap as a procedure isn't bad. It's just a little prick. I want to make a joke on that. I want to make a joke. The spinal tap itself isn't the bad part. It's after the spinal tap. So when you first it's done rather quickly. You don't even notice it's happening. You're in, you're out within an hour. It's after. The procedure is not bad. It's the recovery. So about 2 3 hours after your spinal tap happens, you get the migraine from fucking hell. Do not be dismayed. I am. Thank you very much, Lou. I appreciate that. Uh, yeah, the migraine from hell after you've got a spinal tap. It just does not stop. What you're supposed to do before you do get a spinal tap, drink lots of coffee. It makes it a little bit less, and drink a lot of caffeine after you've had a spinal tap, and Pepsi and sugar and stuff, caffeine and sugar with it. It really helps to numb the headache out from the spinal tap. Lou, I appreciate that. They numb the area out. Again, a spinal tap isn't that bad. It sounds scary because they're sticking a needle in your spine. That's not the bad part. It is the recovery from it. Yeah, base chat. I've been fighting with the government for it. It's not as easy to get on ODSP as you think it is here. The government likes to screw you around. I've heard of people waiting up to 10 years to get disability, actually fighting for it. People who really needed it. The thing is, it's not just me. It happens to thousands of Canadians. Like, I'm not. Things are going to change, though. Things are going to change. The worst part is if you go see a mental health professional, fake it to them for 3 months, you can get on disability like that. Same thing if you go talk to an addiction counselor. They will put you on ODSP within 3 months, but that's because they think you're just going to end up, the government will give it to you because they think you're going to end up overdosing within a year of getting ODSP. And unfortunately, that's what the statistics say is going to happen when an addict receives ODSP or a disability. They go on these $1,500 drug binges and OD and die. And then the government doesn't have to worry about them anymore. When it's a regular person who wants to live and wants to keep living and have a decent life, they don't want to give it to you because they know you're going to be around for a long time. Oh, Jay, I'm so sorry it took so long for you. Oh man, the one that is absolute, the procedure that is the worst. The spinal tap was easy. The one that really was bad Google cerebral angiogram. Oh my god, that is the worst fucking shit I've ever had to deal with in my entire goddamn life. I hated it. I hated the first one. I hated the second one. I hated the third one. I hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. Never get a cerebral angiogram. Worst procedure ever. Do not recommend. 0 out of 10. Won't do again. Ooh. No, 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 no. Don't want to remember it. I don't even want to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it. A cerebral angiogram is where they cut into the artery that's in your groin and stick a camera into that artery all the way up to your brain to inject photosensitive dye or radioactive dye into your brain so they can get a picture of all the veins and arteries of your brain. Legit, they stick a wire in you from your groin to your brain. It sucks. It really sucks. The first one sucked, the second one sucked, and the third one sucked. And when they take the wire out of you, they give you they got your legs spread wide open. All your business is hanging out for the nurses to like look at and touch and hold and like admire, which wasn't so bad. That's a joke. They just put like this they got this like weighted I want to call it like a lead blanket or something, but it's a weight in a blanket that they put on the spot where they cut into and fed the thing in there. And they said, hold that, press down, do not move. Oh, did I also mention you're awake for the whole damn procedure, which really sucks? What is autonomic testing? Maybe. No, dude, there's an artery that goes from your groin to your heart to your brain. That's how they go do you give you an angiogram. They go in through your groin to get to your heart. They go in through your groin to get to your brain. Hey, you know what, dude? That says a lot, Jeremiah. That says a lot. They got to go into they got to go into a man's groin to get to his brain because that's where our brains are. At least that's what I always thought. My brain is between my legs. Slap, slap. Ow, I just punched myself in the brain. I love to fish. I have had that done. The one they do is they do a 6-hour test every 6 months on me to see how my motor control functions are going. That's a good thing. Oop! I just sat on my brain. Dude, the news is very up here in Canada. It's different. The news is controlled by the government, and you cause yourself more trouble by speaking up. Yeah, you might help somebody in the future because of it, but if you get on the bad side of the government, they find a way to throw you in jail and silence you, or get you. It attracts too much attention. I speak out little by little the way I am, like this, so I don't cause trouble for myself. Dude, last year there's a news reporter that walked up and asked a councilman a question. This council person told him not to be around him, not to ask him this question. Then the reporter tried to do an actual reporting, and he got arrested, legit arrested and charged for assault. You know what he did? He asked a fucking question, and the guy's bodyguard got close to him and pushed the reporter, and the reporter stuck his hand out and just touched the guy. And it's disgusting what happens. They took all of his power away, though. Like they took all of his power away. And first of all, Rob Ford was an awesome mayor. He's the crackhead king mayor of Toronto. He's nothing like his brother. His brother's a piece of shit. His brother, Rob Ford, brother, is now the Premier of Ontario. Rob Ford's brother is a piece of shit. Rob Ford actually gave a shit about the citizens and the people. Doug Ford, he cares about money. I loved that whole Rob Ford saga. Oh, Paul Viei's going to win it. Paul Viei is going to win it. Pierre Paul Viei or John, whatever his name is. I, I fell in love with the guy when he had his supervillain moment. He was being. There was a news reporter asking him questions while he's at an apple orchard, and he shuts the news reporter down all while eating an apple, and like, oh my god, that's his supervillain moment. That's his rise to power. Nah, Doug Ford, all he cares about is cheap beer and making it so children can have easy access to alcohol. Making it so convenience stores can sell beer and wine and stuff. I don't agree with that. We're Canada. We've always had the liquor store and the beer store for our consumption needs, not having it accessible everywhere. I think it is wrong having alcohol easily accessible to everybody. It makes it one easier for kids to get. Fuck. Okay, I'll admit it. When I was in high school, I used to go to the liquor store and ask somebody to buy me beer. And it would happen once in a while, but you're talking, what, 20 years ago? Or you go in and take, you know, the kids are going and take the 5 finger discount, which is kind of hard to do at the liquor store because they have security in them. But now that the convenience stores have them, kids can walk in, pack their bag with beer, and run out. It's giving too easy access for alcohol. I have a job, and I will never have a vehicle because I cannot drive. Yeah, you're probably right there. I keep forgetting that my childhood experience was a lot different than most. So how do I put this? My dad, there was my dad always had a drink. He would never not had alcohol, but he how do I put this? There was never ever alcohol at home, but my dad was always drinking at home. So any alcohol that was at home, it was there because he bought it and he was drinking it. It would never last. So he was drunk 24 hours a day. Exactly. I think it should be harder to access. It's the same thing with the pot shops. I think I don't disagree with legalizing weed at all. And I think it's gone a little too far in Canada where there is a weed store. There's more pot shops in Toronto than Tim Hortons. Um, I have honestly everything I need to survive. That's the thing. Yeah, I've got a nicotine vape pen. Well, box. See? Well, look. I've been thinking about doing some stupid stuff just because the idea of making money is too much. Like, fuck. It wouldn't take me much to grow 20 plants in the woods here, dry them out, and then cross the border to the States and sell, what, 5 pounds a plant? 50 pounds of weed? 100 pounds of weed dried? Bring it across the border and sell it to like one of the cartels for like 100K. I've got a regular tent. It's not hot. It's not hot and sexy at all. It's just your regular average tent. Well, Mike, I'm going to put it this way: is I think that is in certain communities, having an easy access to kids is a good thing. We're going to go talk about Nova Scotia 2006. There was no easy access. The small towns there were no easy access to alcohol or drugs in these small towns. There was no liquor store. There was no way for the kids to get booze, party, and get high. So instead of turning to something that is a lot safer, like weed or even alcohol, they went to the gas station to get high. They would fill up a container with gas, put it into a plastic bag, and huff gas to get high. I think weed in a small town is the lesser of two evil. You can smoke weed or huff gas. I think smoking the weed is probably better. There were that did a lot of damage in small towns in Nova Scotia 2000 in the early 2000s. Exactly. That's the thing. I think a chemical that is widely consumed like THC or alcohol is a lot better than a chemical that legit rots your brain and your sinuses like gasoline or a glue that does fast long-term damage. At least that I think it's in fact for a lot of people weed is a very healing drug. I don't smoke the stuff. It makes my face go white and I don't like what it does to my brain. Jesus, Mike, Jesus. I kind of did. I agree, but I also disagree. Young kids, yes. Teenagers, not so much. Teenagers experiment and teenagers fuck up. That's the whole point of being a teenager. For fuck's sakes. When I was 16, 17, I was down in the valley in Toronto smoking a little bit of weed, trying magic mushrooms, getting drunk, drinking, stuff like that with my friends. It's a normal thing for a teenager to do. In fact, I think it's a healthy thing for a teenager to do is to have the freedom to try and experiment like that. If not, it can lead to worse things where they're so taken away from it, then they go, when they have a little bit of freedom away from their home, they go batshit crazy and go too hard into it. Yes, I'm in my shelter in negative 25 degrees. Well, Cass, see, look in Germany or and England where the drinking age is like 15, or France where there is no drinking age. You don't got 12-year-old alcoholics walking down the street. It's about moderation and education. Well, again, it's called the lesser of two evils. Um, if the kids have easy access to regular things like weed and alcohol, if it's easier, that's what they're going to go for. When if it's as hard to get weed and alcohol as it is to get something hard like Xanax or ecstasy, then it's all at the same level to them. Then they're going to go for whatever. And I think kids just having a couple beers or drinking some booze at a party or smoking some weed at a party is fine. When it starts to get into, oh, let's all drop ecstasy, that's where the problem is. And that's why I think a little bit easier access is a good thing, because it's more likely that they're going to go for the weed and the alcohol. Exactly. Like, it's all a fine line, it's all a slippery slope. Anyways, guys, my hands are starting to get freezing cold. I want to, I'm going to probably end this in about a minute or two. Get up, go use the bathroom, and hang out on the Discord playing some games. It's been fun, as always. You guys are freaking awesome. If you want, you can join the Discord. There's a link in my bio, or if Jeremiah is here, he could kind of post the Discord link. That'd be awesome. Love you all. You guys take care, and we'll talk to you guys next time. I'm cold.